with that, I will now call upon Mr. Sriram, who is the managing director of Aurolab. So the Aurolab was started almost at the same time when we started the Lions Aravind Institute, which was in 91-92. At that point of time, the cost of the intraocular lenses and the supplies for eye care services are very high. So unless we bring the technology to India, we will not be able to make affordable cost of effective products. And that was the reason behind setting up the Aurolab. And Sriram is one of the founding members of Aurolab. He is there from 1991 for the last 20 years. And he has been involved in the production in the earlier days. Now he became the managing director. And he was behind the designing of many of our intraocular lenses and other products. I will request Sriram to share his presentation about Aurolab.
Thank you, Dr. Ravi. Thank you, Chakrapani sir, for this opportunity. So today my presentation is about Aurolab, how Aurolab made eye care technologies affordable and accessible. So my presentation, I will take you through this concept. Medical device inventions normally happen in the West. So these inventions, whenever a new technology comes, it is priced for their markets, for their economies. And then, it is also targeted in terms of specifications. It comes with a lot of sophistication than basic needs. So it is priced more and appropriate for those countries. So such technology, when they percolate into the developing countries, only the top tier of the society is able to afford that. As a consequence, the market remains small, and then the other general population are not able to afford such technologies. So even if the technology gets into a country, there are challenges to absorb the technology and adopt the technology for the manufacturer side. And then even if he does that, he has to price it appropriately so that everyone can afford it. But before that, the user also, the doctors or whomever it is, they should get trained to use the technology and then deliver it to the society. So even if the technology someone brings to another country at a price, there are other challenges to so that the end user gets the benefit out of it. The technology also changes. It is not stagnant. It's like when I started my career in Aurolab about 30 years back, it was mostly ICCE, then we went to ECCE, then we went to SCCS, then phaco, foldable lenses. Now we're talking about multifocal. So technology also changes over a period of time. So it is not just a one-time effort. The organization which brings the new technology has to keep itself abreast of the happening in the market, and then they should continue to bring it. Not only bring it, price it appropriately, and then make sure that the users are able to use those technologies. So I would like to take IOL as a case to substantiate this presentation. In the early 90s, or I would say late 80s, 89, 90, 91, in those years, India was home to the largest number of cataract blind. And at that time, the ICC was the norm. Only few patients who had the money to buy an imported lens, at a price of about $100. At that time, the dollar was about 30 rupees. So we are talking about, 3,000 rupees in the year 1991, 92, just the lens cost alone. So because it was expensive, and then it also needs a lot of training. The India was considered not a viable market for IOL at that point in time. And this was the case across the globe, in Africa, many parts of the globe like Africa, many Asian countries and Central America and Latin American countries. But if you look at Aravind, the Aravind cannot buy. Aravind's business model is to have a free hospital and a paying hospital. And one of the founding values of Aravind is to offer the same treatment for the patient, irrespective of their ability to pay. Aravind cannot buy a lens at $100 and then give it free, and that finance cannot be sustained. So it was compromising the mission and values of the Aravind. So this is when our founder, Dr. V, thought, this should be made locally and then it should be priced appropriately so that everybody can use it. He was also not, willing, he was not for giving it free. He wanted to price it in a manner that, it costs only about, 1 week's wage for anyone to, afford this particular lens. So it was decided to manufacture it locally, and then it was priced for 500 rupees the surgery, which includes the pre-op medication, the whole surgery, and then one month post-op medication, all that included, and that is how the services started in Aravind. So if some company gets to manufacture it in a country, and is it just enough? Unless they price it affordably, unless they make the users to use it, it is not going to reach the society. So when we started the lenses manufacturing in 1992, we priced it affordably. At that point in time, the market prices were about $100. We priced it at $10. It was somewhere between 270 rupees to 300 rupees. And then Aravind also parallelly started a surgical skilling program wherein they were training the doctors to do the IOL surgeries. And then once we came up with the lower pricing, there were companies in India making the lenses, but they were priced high at that point in time until we came into the market. So because we priced it low, they also had to price it low. So they also started pricing the lenses, lower price. So that also grew the market. Because of the price, it increased the competition, and in the year 1996, almost the price point became almost same for everyone. At that time, there was no regulation in the government, so anyone can manufacture the lens. So Aural Lab consciously decided not to reduce the price further, rather move in a direction where we can show a difference in quality. So we went for ISO and CE certification. CE certification is something you need to sell in Europe, and this was not needed in India, but yet we went with that certificate. It's a rigorous quality check, procedures, and we were the first company to get the CE mark. So the message to our customers, is that we are giving a world-class product to them, but at an Indian price. After seeing us getting the CE mark, the other companies also followed, to get the CE mark. Of course, they took about 4 or 5 years. Around 2002, 2003, few of the Indian companies also got the CE mark. Today, the whole industry is very strong. Even China cannot compete with India on the IOL space. So all of this has got an effect in the market, in the country, for the society. So if you look at the impact the whole industry has made in India from 1990, you could see, it was hardly a million surgeries was happening, and most of it without lenses. But slowly, once the lens price became more and more affordable, now the country does, it is a 7-fold increase within a span of about 25 years. I am doubtful any other medical practice would increase by 7-fold, with the introduction of a new technology. So the whole market has become from 1 million to almost 7 million. Now it is kind of stagnant from the year 2015-16. Now you can imagine in the year 1990, it was mostly without lens. Now, if someone does a surgery without a lens, probably, it could become a medical legal case, not putting a lens in the eye. So the transformation is so huge. Within 25 years, the market also has grown about 7 times, and then the quality of the outcome has become far better than it used to be. So it has given an increased reach, and the many doctors are able to do the IOL surgeries now. It's a growth benefiting everyone: the manufacturers, the doctors, and the patients. So all of this was possible. The technology was same, whether we manufacture it here or in the US. It is the same technology. It is not different. The process are the same. If you look at the cost of manufacturing is also, I would say, the same, whether it is in India or in the US, the cost of the goods, because these are all more automated now. So the cost of production is also relatively low. But why it is not happening in many countries? It is just because of the pricing. So the only innovation that Aurolab did is not with the process or with the technology or with the material. It is just with the pricing. We priced it appropriately. The standard pricing strategies we didn't apply. We did not look at the market situation and then we could have priced it higher, but that was not the intent. The intent was to give benefit to everyone. So to price it such that it is affordable for everyone. At the same time, the good work that we are doing should be self-sustained. So we priced it in a manner so that we can continue to do the good work and also expand the product range that we have. So the pricing was, basically to maximize for the patients who could to afford it. And then, we also made the access. Today we are selling in about 120 countries plus across the globe. Mostly you will see it is on the southern hemisphere where the income for the countries are low. The affordability is low in those countries in Africa, Latin America, parts of Asia. The figures, the color that you see in Europe, they are all mostly donor agencies. They buy from us and then they distribute to their programs all over the world free of charge. So we also ensured that we are not compromising on the quality just because we are selling at a lower price. Our products are CE certified and some of the products are US FDA certified. Many of our products are WHO GMP certified and across the whole organization is ISO 9001 certified. These are all very early on. And we are not stopping with just the lenses. We are keeping up with the pace of the technology. As I mentioned, even the lens technology has evolved so much from what it was in 1990 to what it is today. So if you look at Aurolab today, in the beginning, we were supplying only to Aravinda Hospital. Now we are supplying about 160 countries across the world. And then we started off with a manpower of about 10 people. Now we are close to 1,000 people working in this organization alone. In the early days, it was about 150 lenses per day. Now we are manufacturing about 12,000 lenses per day. As Dr. RDR mentioned, 1 out of 10 lenses implanted somewhere in the world is from Aurolab. So every 15 seconds, somewhere in the world, in some country, one of our lens gets implanted for every 15 seconds. And then, we didn't stop only with the lenses. Now we have 5 divisions making a whole range of products. I will cover that in the next slide. And then earlier we were selling directly. Now we have got about 35 domestic dealers and then about 76 international dealers. Now the product range is quite wide. So in 1992, we came up with the intraocular lenses. And then in 1996, we started pharmaceuticals. And then in 1997, suture needles. In 2004, surgical blades. The pharmaceuticals, we got the know-how from the Moorfields Eye Hospital, London. For the suture needles, we got the know-how from Germany. The surgical blade is completely homegrown technology, the knowledge that we gained from our previous experience. Now we've designed our own machines. We built it in the country, and then we brought the technology. We brought the blades almost on par with the best available in the world. And the equipment, we have got a quite good range of equipment. In the year 2017, we celebrated our silver jubilee. Like the IOLs has made the impact, we have got many other products that also made an equal impact in the society. If you take voriconazole, it is an antifungal drug. Our economy is an agrarian economy. So drugs like voriconazole is not manufactured by the multinational companies because this is not prevalent in their markets. So we came up with a new drug, the voriconazole, which is one of the best drugs available for the antifungal treatment. We also have an emergency kit. In India, when a surgery failure is common. So when such a situation comes, we provide a kit so that the patient eye could be saved. Now we have a kit in which we have put everything that is needed for the cataract surgery. This is especially, very, very useful for, customers in Africa. They do not have to order from 20, 25 different sources. We put them all together in one kit. We ensure the quality for those items we procure from outside. And then, we are also getting into equipment. We got a laser equipment, ophthalmic switches, and many retinal products. The retinal products were earlier imported into the country at a very high price. Now we have made them all affordable. So the impact did not stop only with the lenses. We continue to impact the society with good quality products from different in different ranges of products. But we are also seeing changes in the environment. Now the eye care health seeking behavior is changing. Like, there are vision centers where, it opens up access doors to the patients very close to their doorsteps. And then now, because of the booming economy, the people are willing to spend more for the health. And government has also come up with, support. And then, the insurance also boosting the, absorption of the new technology. So the people are demanding for a better outcomes. These are all changing in the environment, and then we should be responding to these changes as an organization. So we are also taking the organization to the next level, by introducing we are introducing a product called the EC auto refractometer. This is a state-of-the-art auto refractor. It is handheld, portable, and uses a very new technology. We collaborated with a US partner called Panoptica. And then this is probably one of the auto refractors which gives reading very close to the subjective reading. Subjective reading is someone in a trained refractionist to take examines the patient and come up with the refractive error values. This device gives a value very, very close to that. Likewise, in India, if you look at, though we do about 7 million surgeries, only about 30-35% of the surgeries are done with phaco. The rest are not done with the phaco because of the reasons, it is expensive, machine is expensive, consumables are expensive. So we want to address that particular issue, and then we want to bring really a good phaco machine at a reasonable price. As I mentioned, people are demanding for better outcomes. So we are also into multifocal and new generation of IOLs. Like Mr. Tulsiraj mentioned, we have got a solution for Vision Center. We try to give everything as one kit, so that those who are wanting to open a Vision Center, they don't have to go for many suppliers. More importantly, we also give 3-year warranty for the Vision Centers. Whenever we make sure that the Vision Center runs without any problem. So we give for all the equipment, we give warranty for a year, and then we also give a pricing for next 2 years maintenance. So they are sure they don't have to worry about any breakdowns in the Vision Centers. The EC we have supplied to Andhra government very recently last year for the Kanti Velugu program. It's a Andhra government's flagship program, which aims to reach the entire population and then dispense glasses. So this is we have supplied about 130 units for the program. So it is reaching and touching many people in Andhra Pradesh. A similar effort was also taken in Tamil Nadu. We have supplied about 80 units in Tamil Nadu.
Dr. Sriram, can you kindly explain what is this EC? Sorry for the interruption, but at this point of time, I think a little bit of elucidation will be helpful.
Yeah. So when a patient, more than the cataract problem, the refraction problem is, manifold like a cataract problem. So many people, they don't go and get an eyeglass because first they have to go and check their power. What is the error they have? For that, they have to go to a town and then go to a doctor and then get their eyes checked. Or sometimes nowadays, the optical shops also in big towns, they're able to measure the refractive error and then they propose the eyeglass. This device does that. You can take it to schools, you can take it to village, we can take it to community. On that spot, we can give the refractive error for the patient. With that report, the patient can go to a town and then get eyeglasses, purchase eyeglasses. So to cover the entire population, the government cannot take them to all of them to an eye hospital. Rather, the device should go to the community, and that is what is, it is getting done in Andhra Pradesh under the program called Kanti Velugu. So we have supplied about 130 units last year, and then similarly we have supplied about 80 units in Tamil Nadu. So these devices will be taken to the villages, to the vision centers, and then patients can get screened there, and then their refractive error, the report can be given, by a technician who is not well trained as a refractionist. With a minimal training, they can give a prescription which is as good as a trained technician, checking their eyes and then arriving at the refractive value. So that is the easy. That is what is easy about. So we are preparing ourselves for the future, and then we are bringing in new technology. So it is not just the IOL with which we stop. So the point here is, we are, as an organization, we are able to digest the new technology and then make sure that it reaches the people across the board. So this is a story about a small girl in an African country. This story came in the National Geography magazine. You see the face with the two stickers, those stickers that we normally put in an IOL pack. So we could see that her eyes got operated with our lenses. She was blind, until, she was done a surgery by a surgeon and then fitted with our lenses, and she was able to see the world. You could see, the joy that the girl would have after getting to see the world after, since her birth, she was blind. So she was carried on the shoulders of her grandmother. They walked for about 60, 70 kilometers and then got her eye fixed. So this is what defines our work. And then we want to continue to do the work like this in the future. So we have to adopt as we move forward. New technologies will emerge and we have to adopt them. And then we have to make sure that we are pricing them appropriately so that the impact that we have made in the past continues in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Sriram, for the excellent presentation. How Oral Lab was able to make a difference to the entire world in bringing the cost-effective supplies to not only countries in Asia, but also